I'm gonna start today's video off with a question. Have y'all ever lost a bad bitch? You ever just fumble, sell so hard that it haunts you at the most ungodly hours of the night, keeping you up all night? Well, I am going to scientifically prove that though that does kind of suck ass, it can always be much worse. Not gonna lie, today's video topic, or I should say the first video topic, we got 3 stories today. The first one had me feeling secondhand ouchies for the dude involved. It's really that bad. And so I think it is only fair that before we begin, we do provide a moment of silence for our fallen soldier who was unfortunately gunned down in the trenches that we call the dating world in 2024, 2025. Alright, time's up, bro. You had your moment. So essentially, this bro got cheated on, if we can really call it that. Y'all will be the judges here, but despite being in a relationship for damn near a full decade, my dude just instantly decides to throw in the towel as a result of this and ends the relationship. And this has caused quite the divide across the internet. So yeah, with that sort of a premise out of the way, let's just roll this shit. I'm sure it'll be oh so educational, as always. Damn, you really hate to see it. So let's go ahead and break this down. So I guess this woman here in the video decided to go to a concert, and I guess somehow here Mr. Santos, the performer in question here, singled her out amongst the crowd somehow, and she now has this like backstage VIP groupie experience. So as a result of all of the hugging, the kissing, and all that, as a result of really all of this, the husband was pretty pissed. He was definitely big mad, as illustrated by this tweet here. Husband left his wife after 10 years together for her actions last night in Aventura concert with Romeo Santos. So yeah, pretty wild behavior. I think first and foremost, I gotta come out and say what everyone is unfortunately thinking but doesn't have the stomach to admit. So this could happen to any one of us, fellas. You are not famous. If you're like me, you're not exactly rolling in cash. And let's be honest here, be honest with ourselves. Like the saying goes, there's always someone out there with a bigger dick than you. Like, it's just facts. I'd hate to have to be the one to bestow on you such prophetic truths, be the bearer of bad news, if you will, but someone has to do it, and why not have the talentless YouTuber do it? So with that out of the way, let's in all seriousness break this down further. I want y'all to watch it back again and just watch this woman very carefully, really dial in on her behavior, take notes of what it is she's doing, especially towards the end there. Very, very important detail here. So yeah, she pulled him back in for the makeout sesh. She's like a hungry hippo, a dog at the junkyard who hasn't had a meal in 5 days. Going pretty ham on his face, if I do say so myself. And technically, Father Time over here did initiate the first move, but she didn't exactly have to reciprocate tenfold. Like, goddamn, show some mercy on the, I guess, former husband. I mean, you gotta figure dude's life flashed before his eyes. Like, this is just a terrible, traumatic event to have to go through. He saw the pearly gates, and at that moment, he just knew his life was over. Like, imagine this happened. And I guess this is like a pretty big deal, this Romeo Santos guy. So I'm sure a lot of people saw this video, and obviously it's circulating around the internet now. So imagine this happens to you and your boys get a hold of this and see, oh man, I can't even imagine. Pretty tough scene to watch. To just see your girl so thoughtlessly throw herself at him like that with literally zero hesitation. I mean, let's also not forget the fact that she leaped into bro's arms like he was like Patrick Swayze from Dirty Dancing or something. Like, if I didn't know any better, I'd say they were the ones who were married or like just gotten married or something. Like, this is seriously what you see in the movies when they like get married, you may now kiss the bride, and then they walk out of the church and drive off into the sunset, the car saying just married on the back. That's kind of what I picture with that Lambo leap there. Nah, she was doing way too much. Like I said, she didn't have to do all that, and she certainly didn't have to make out with a dude. Like, my goodness, that's just tough, man. But this has caused a lot of speculation online, where this Twitter user suggests that maybe there's more going on behind the scenes. And yes, this is what I said earlier. You know, the sex maybe wasn't good enough. There's always someone with a bigger dick out there. You know, we already discussed that. Maybe that's what happened. But nah, I don't know. I don't care if there was stuff going on behind the scenes. You can't be acting like this, man. Like, you got to have at least a little bit of respect for your partner. And really, honestly, if there was stuff going on behind the scenes, then I'm genuinely shocked that someone's so willing to just instantly file divorce without even like hearing her side of the story, would not try to like tag along at this concert. Like, he was really okay with her going out dressing like that, because some dudes are insecure about that, and this guy kind of seems that way to me. I don't know, I'm just speculating. Who really knows for sure? But what we do know for certain is that we got a response from the woman. So she said, "I have to admit that this achievement came at a very high cost, the breakup of my 10-year marriage. I admit that I got carried away by nerves and emotion without considering how this could affect my family. Today I am overcome with deep sadness when I realize the impact I caused. But I must be responsible for my actions, and I respect his decision," she said. Hold up. So, couple concerns here. One, well, what do you mean how this affects my family? So there's kids involved? See, so like I said earlier, you know, imagine your homies see this going on and they're just clowning you, but you know the kids are getting bullied to fucking hell and back over something like this. Like, that's tough. Like, damn, I saw your mom make out with that Romeo Santos dude on twitter.com last night. Whore, slut. Like, Jesus, man. Kids are ruthless. You know, these kids' lives, they're ruined, they're finished, they're cooked. Not only that, but I don't know if referring to the series of actions that resulted in your 10-year marriage being broken up as an achievement is a very good word choice there. You know, maybe not the best diction there, if you catch what I'm saying. That's kind of crazy. I don't really buy the apology here, or like the confession here. You do have to respect the fact that she is at least somewhat owning up for her actions, you know, taking some sort of accountability. That's nice to see when we live in a world where not a lot of people really do that. So pretty crazy story overall. But let's go on to the next one. Remember Lily Phillips, the girl who slept with like 100 different dudes in one day and then started crying about it? Well, she's back in the headlines, and I'm not gonna lie, this shit is funny as fuck. Y'all are just gonna have to see it for y'all selves. Onlyfans model Lily Phillips, who slept with 101, men in one day, faces Airbnb ban for using rental for sexual stunt, report. So I just want to first and foremost give her flowers. I didn't realize it was 101, not a 100 even. So my mistake, Miss Phillips. I did not mean to talk down on your crowning achievement. Look, I was just unfamiliar with your game, all right? Sue me, God. But the British OnlyFans model, who had sex with, again, 101 men in a single day, faces a potential ban from Airbnb after she used a rental for the sexual stunt without informing the homeowner. Lily Phillips, 23, rented out a luxurious apartment in London's trendy Notting Hill neighborhood worth nearly $1.9 million in October to host her sexcapade, and live streamed the session on her raunchy subscription-based social media page. So when I had first heard this story, I actually didn't know that it took place in an Airbnb, and now we're finding out that she didn't even inform the people that lived there what it was she was doing in the first place. Like, she just decided to go full gorilla mode, like Sexy Red, you know, on some Pound Town type shit, and didn't inform the owners. And look, I get that would be a pretty awkward conversation. Like, what would you even expect her to say at that point? Like, you know, hey, we about to go gorilla mode and defile ourselves in your multi-million-dollar home. You know, hope y'all are chill like that, tee-hee. I totally understand that conversation is never in a million years taking place. I get that, and perhaps it is unreasonable to expect that from someone, but this is someone else's property, you know, they're permitting you to stay in it, so like, that argument really goes out the window. You either tell them, own up to what you're doing, you know, don't try to be sneaky about it, or just, you know, you also could just like, you know, not have sex with 101 people, but I digress. Because consider this for a second, you know, she's in the upper echelon of OnlyFans, right? She's one of of the top creators there, the highest paid earners. You know, she's hauling in the big bucks over here. You know, she's got plenty of V-bucks. So when you consider that, how is it that she doesn't have her own place, you know, suitable to put on such a, we'll say, dignified event? You know, like I said, she's in the top % of earners, and I'm supposed to believe that she can't do this at her own place, you know, her own home. Surely she has her own home. You know, she's not living off the street making millions of dollars. You know, she's not homeless, you know, asking me for $5 for a pack of cigarettes down at the Circle K. I promise you that's not her situation. So like, what the fuck is it that's going on here? And really just try to imagine for a second that someone rented your place and invited a bunch of other dudes that you were not expecting to be there to essentially shoot a massive porno, right? Like that's essentially what's going on here. Like, these people have to feel violated. That's so disrespectful. It's honestly pretty gross too. I try not to think about the more minute details, the specifics, if you will, but I feel like as the landlord, you gotta just burn the place down at that point. You know, just start over, you know, new home, new me, right? Because that's disgusting. The sex marathon appeared to go off without a hitch as the host of the Victorian house, which was converted into a gorgeous garden flat for Airbnb rentals, praised Phillips as, quote, a lovely guest who kept to all the house rules and a good communicator prior to arrival, according to the Daily Mail. However, once one of the property's hosts learned about the hours-long shagging season, they told the outlet that they didn't know anything about it until after the Onlyfans star had left. We have been made aware of this now. Unfortunately, we did not know anything about what she had done in the flat, and there was no sign of anything in the flat when she left, the host told the outlet. And I'm sure plenty of people will come to her defense for this because, you know, oh, at least she tidied up after, bro. Yeah, you mean after housing hundreds of unwelcome guests into their home and then live streaming the venue? Like, no sense of respect was displayed towards these people at all, because now you've also got, you know, God knows how many other people now know about this house or its location. Like, in my personal opinion, this is a breach of privacy. Like, this should, in my opinion, come with more than just a, oh, you know, a ban from Airbnb services. Because really, think about it. She's just going to go do this over at Verbo's next or something. I don't know. But this house is honestly, like, if you think about it, it's kind of like a relic, you know, an piece of internet history now. And no, I'm not being really overly dramatic with this. Like, God only knows how many people are gonna come snooping around, you know, oh, that OnlyFans girl that I donate my 401k to fucked a bunch of other dudes here. This is so cool. Like it's the Breaking Bad house or something. And honestly, this level of breach of privacy needs to be punishable by law, in my opinion. It's essentially on the same level of doxing, and this could potentially be dangerous and or cause trouble for the owners. Like, damn, that just sucks so bad. So no, I don't give a fuck how clean and communicative she was. If this is the type of shit you're doing, again, just get your own place if you want to take part in such degeneracy. And if you're still not convinced, honestly, just think about it like this. Like, I honestly think anyone defending her is lying to themselves, because no self-respecting person would be okay with something like this taking place in their home. Like, that's violating his shit, bro. We only found out a couple days ago. We have no further comment. The home rental platform's ground rules state that a stay, experience, or its surrounding property should not be used for the creation of commercial pornography, photos, or videos. Phillips also seems to have violated the house's rules on the maximum number of guests allowed by inviting over 100 people to the rental. Oh my god, bro. It literally tells you in the rules, man. Like, these bitches just seriously don't give a fuck, man. Like, in the year 2025, bitches just don't care. Like, we barely even started this year, but they're already out here setting the standard. But this is where the article gets even crazier, believe it or not. So get a load of this. In a documentary, the OnlyFans model broke down in tears discussing her experience. She insisted that she enjoyed the extreme stunt, but all that sex didn't make her feel good. Gee, I seriously cannot imagine why, like literally, at all. Sometimes I feel so robotic, Phillips admitted in YouTuber Josh Peters' documentary I Slept With 100 Men in One Day. However, the adult content creator has recently declared that she plans to have sex with 1,000 men in one day. Hey, oh, I'm sorry, man. My ears must be ringing or something. Did she say 1,000? Like 1000? That. Wow. I thought you had a meltdown though, and you know, you were just talking about how bad you felt afterwards. You know, you just felt so robotic. It just didn't feel really good. And all of a sudden you want to do it again, literally tenfold. you know, say what you want about these OnlyFans girls, but they are the experts at marketing themselves, man, and just like grabbing the headlines and lying to people for more publicity. Man, it's just an endless cycle here. We see this all the time, and yet we always fall for it, or at least I do. But man, that's really crazy. For a second there, she had me fooled, you know. We thought she was out here, you know, learning some profound life lesson, or like felt some form of remorse and what have you. But nah, she's back on her shit, shooting for a goddamn world record. That's actually insane. In a post on social media, she stated, quote, 1,000 men in 24 hours, male talent casting call, 18 plus only. At least she refrains from touching kids, I guess. You know, there's a silver lining. Location TBC. I dreamed it up with my assistant. I can't wait. It's very exciting. It'll be a world record, a real challenge. The current world record is held by Lisa Sparks, an adult film star who bedded 919 men in one day at a sex industry event in Poland back in 2004. Yeah, because nothing screams challenge like a goddamn orgy, bro. Am I right? Like, where's the challenge here? Like, is this some sort of abstract metaphor, or like some weird artistic thing? Like I don't know, like a try not to contract every fucking STD in the entire fucking world challenge? Is it the try not to need therapy for the rest of your life challenge? Is it the illustrate that there's no father figure within a goddamn 1,000 mile, or like what the fuck are we doing here? Like, what about this is so worthy of being deemed a challenge or a world record worthy? And like, who the fuck records these records in the first place, man? Like, I don't know. This situation is just insane, and I can assure you her dad does not have a relationship with this woman at all, and sending hate from Arizona. Whew, that was truly a lot. Just to reiterate, I initially in the intro said we got 3 stories, but this video is just getting way too long, so I'll probably save that for another one. I'd love to hear what you guys think. That's pretty much it, though, from me. No more yapping. We'll catch you on the next one. Later.